Chubby and the Gang, the Mutt's Nuts album review. Let's chat about it. Hey guys, what's going on? John here from What's Spinning Here tonight to chat about this latest album from Chubby and the Gang, UK-based punk rockers that for a while now I've been kind of obsessed with these guys. Their debut album from last year, Speed Kills, it's an album that I wish I touched down a whole lot more on this channel about. It was actually a really great album. This is everything that I kind of needed in modern punk at the moment. It was deeply rooted in throwback rock and roll as well as pub rock, but it also had a ton of bite. It was obviously influenced very heavily by throwback hardcore and just straight up punk rock. But it seriously had some bite to it as well, and there were tons of great hooks. It's one of my favorite debuts in a while. Now, it's barely been a year since we've heard from Chubby and the Gang, but they're back with their second album, The Mutt's Nuts, and the singles leading up to this have been pretty great as well. This album doesn't waste any time. It starts off with its title track, and this is a pretty heavy start. It's got a winding riff, some thunderous drums, and the vocals. These are vocals that are raunchy and disgusting and sloppy, really going back to all of your favorites in the punk genre. But Chubby and the Gang really sell it with their appreciation of these sounds, their energy, and their personality. This gets me hyped for this brand of punk. It's interesting though, as undeniably UK this album is, I also feel like Chubby and the Gang were very influenced by the California punk scene of the 90s. I'm feeling a lot of some swinging udders on here quite a bit. Then we have It's Me Who Will Pay. This track is rough. This track is tough. It will kick you right in the gut. But God, is it ever fun and oddly colorful too. Not only that, like I said, Chubby and the Gang have just a real knack for writing catchy tunes, especially in that guitar hook. If you're a fan of guitar-driven punk rock, this album is a no-brainer. And as far as the single goes, Coming Up Tough is just icing on the cake. This, in a lot of ways, is the perfect track to, try out Chubby and the Gang with. Between that guttural growl and these big guitars, this sums up their sound. This sounds like the noisiest, dirtiest punk rock band that got drunk and did a late night set at your local pub. This is just spot on. On the Meter is really great as well. I mean, Charlie Manning Walker, aka Chubby Charlie, his vocals on this track and a lot of this album, they're scratching some itches, man. I love it, just so guttural and so sloppy. That, along with the very streamlined feel of these riffs, as well as this rowdy atmosphere, it's just a recipe for success. There's something very, classic about this that brings me back to my early days with punk rock. Personally, I also needed a track like Take Me Back to London. Like I said, they have a strong bar band, pub rock feel to them at their core. Here it is right here. This is a bluesy, grizzled bar ballad. They have this sound down to a T. They've done it in the past. They're sounding great with it here. Honestly, there's a sound that they can tackle, and you know what? It breaks up the album nicely. And Life on the Bayou is right up my alley as well. I love the keyboards. I love the passionate performances. The energy that Chubby and the Gang bring to the table on tracks like this, it's infectious. It makes me want to get out there and start my own bar punk band. However, there are a few tracks here that kind of rub me the wrong way. It's not too many. It's still a very, very solid album, but I don't know. I thought that they were going to take this sound a little bit further. Like Beat the Drum is the first track here that just threw me off from a songwriting stance. Come on, Chubby and the Gang are so much better than this. This is a major step back, and not only that, it's the least organic sounding track here. And Pressure is my least favorite track here. It's sloppily put together and staggeringly generic. It's just, I don't know, very safe. Like, if I heard more tracks like this on their debut album, this would not have been a memorable project. Also, by the end of this track, why does this sound like Ice Age trying to go back to their hardcore root? White Rags also really does not rub me the right way. God, these slower tunes on here are very hit and miss. Especially this one, because it doesn't have that pub rock bar band vibe. This just drags, and it's easily one of the most uninteresting tracks here. And Overachiever is just as disheartening. It's just really faceless once again, and that's coming from a band that usually has an overabundance of personality. Thankfully, Chubby and the Gang do end off this album on a slew of, I think, some of the best tracks here. Someone's Gonna Die, pound for pound, one of the best tracks here. I love the bluesy harmonica. I love the backing vocals. These are elements that I wish we heard so much more of. Like when I say that this sound of this album could have been taken further, I'm looking directly at stuff like that. It's such a simple formula. It's right in front of them, and it works so well. Getting beat again, I mean, what more can you ask for? Soaring vocals, thrilling guitars, an abundance of personality. Like, I dare you to not be humming this hook all day. Life's Lemons is a really great late album treat. This is a perfect day after drinking, bruised, hungover ballad. It's passionately performed, it's bluesy, and just a really great treat. And Lightning Don't Strike Twice is just a rowdy blast of a tune. Don't even worry about this track getting off the rails, it starts off the rails. And as far as the hook goes, I think this is the best track here. And I Hate the Radio is just exactly where this album should be ending off. It's another gloomy, rainy day ballad, but this has a serious throwback feel to it. I feel like I'm almost getting like a Replacements vibe from this. It ends up coming off like a really great lost classic. Chubby and the gang really do hit you from all angles, even when you least expect it. This is a very solid album. Chubby and the gang are on a really great run right now between their debut album and this album here. Now, truth be told, I thought they were going to take their sound a lot further, and they do that on a lot of tracks here. I just wish that they kind of completed the circle a little bit more. However, they have a sound. They are great at that sound. It is exciting. It is personality driven. It is great guitar driven throwback punk rock with a great bar band and rock and roll twist. I'm for this, man. This is a lot of fun. Feeling a light 8 on this album, but let me know what you guys think down below. If you like the video, be sure to give us a like, give us a subscribe, and let me know down below what you would like for me to chat about in the future. And until next time, have a great day, guys.